Playtime is falling through the night sky with a bullet in her chest. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about comic books and stuff, and this is our return to minor threats. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this lovely story about misfit supervillains. Trust me, I enjoyed making it. We jump back into our story with a quick origin story. You see, if you've ever wondered why the Doctor was so cynical, this is the reason. She had a relatively good life with a good father, but everything came to a halt when her father was killed by a supervillain because he didn't want to make illegal bread. His daughter, on the other hand, thought this was absolutely foolish. Who turns down free money? She grew up with the mindset that money is everything, and low-key, she's kinda right. But back with Playtime though, she was falling through the night sky with a bullet in her. She had to think of a way to escape. Her options were very limited. She could deploy her toy soldiers, but the parachutes would not take her weight. She could deploy her grappling hook, but it was rusted. She's been gone for too long. She could use her spring shoes, but she didn't have them on. Her last options were the expanding marshmallows she always had packed. Thankfully, they worked. They cushioned her fall. But the thing is, she was still shot. She needed help. She needed medical attention. She needed a doctor. But the doctor could not work in an alley filled with garbage and rats. So a choice had to be made. Do they leave her or take her somewhere safe? Before she fainted though, she whispered that she knew where Stickman was, so they had no options. They had to take her to the Queen of Toys' house, and that was her mother. She was pissed off. You let my baby girl get shot? Why? I'm going to kill all of you. In all seriousness, I think she could, because she was considered to be a boss back in her supervillain days. But right now, her daughter needed treatment, and the doctor needed focus. So, she tuned everybody out and focused on her patient. She saw the injury and treated it quickly, and now it was time to treat Snake Stalker. She went to the bathroom and saw him patting his wound, but then she noticed a scar on his neck. The same scar that is on the Stick Boys. She realized, you worked for Stickman, you traitor. Instinctively, he pinned her to the wall before clarifying, I'm not a traitor. I worked for him before when I was full of hate. But I found love, and the hate seemed meaningless. Thankfully, Playtime was up, so everyone gathered in the living room to see her. Her mother was excited, but she was also annoyed. What the hell? You're pulling a job and you didn't call me. So Playtime had to clarify, this ain't no job. This is just to stop the madness. We have to bring Stickman down. And as soon as she said his name, her mother almost had a heart attack. She was absolutely terrified of that man. He was freaking insane. But her daughter had no fear. You see, she got the tag off one of the suits of the Stick Boys. They were going to track the maker of all the supervillain suits. And they knew where to go because he was quite popular. You see, he made all of their suits, every single one of them. And at that moment, we get another flashback into the life of the Doctor. You see, when she came back from school, she was getting robbed by a supervillain, and she made sure to teach him a lesson. But even after that, she healed him and let him go free, telling him to spread the word that she's a new doctor in town, and she takes cash, because like I said, she believes in the power of $1. Back in the present though, the team was at the factory questioning the workers, but they wanted the boss. And when they got his location, they pulled up quickly. Like, bro, tell us where Stickman is, or we finna beat you down right here, right now. The boss just looked at them and took off his glasses and said, bruh, all of you are losers, bro. I made all your suits and half of you haven't even paid it off. Get out of my face. But before he could even complete cursing them out, he noticed something coming fast. It was the searcher. You see, she was looking for him as well. And he made a deal quickly. Get me out of here and I'll tell you everything you want. And they really had to move because the searcher does not play. She was low-key like Superman, ripping through the colossal Titanic corpse they were just standing on. They had to run. Now you're wondering to yourself, how would a B-ranked team of supervillains escape from a character as strong and as fast as Superman? Well, you travel through an interdimensional rip in time and space. You see, in a time period long since past, superheroes were fighting a god in this same spot. And even after that great battle, this rift was still left here. this rift was a death sentence for all who passed through it. But our villains were very desperate, and they had no other options. The Searcher does not play. They had their own quick little jump around the multiverse. They saw versions of themselves in the past, future, and even alternate realities. And because they were being chased by the Searcher, everywhere they went, she was there. If not her, a version of her, multiple versions of her. Even versions that haven't been drawn yet. Literally, they were standing on a panel being drawn by the artist. They even went through a universe where they all died. You see, that's how this works. It's a multi-dimensional rift. But the Searcher was super in nature, so she still caught up. But before she could land a hit, she was slowed down by a gravity well. She tried to talk to them, tried to convince them. She was trying to save them. You guys are on a dark path. The Insomniac is a good man. And because you guys are out there, he will probably make a mistake he will regret. Please let me help you. But Playtime honestly didn't give a fuck. She just walked away. Like, stay there and think of what you've done. Because now they had to torture this prick. And he wasn't going to talk. But you see, the doctor knew. He was honestly like her. They value a lot of things above money. Because deep down, both of them were craftsmen. So they valued their hands way more above everything else. So the second she started to rip apart his arms, yeah, he started to sing like a bird. This was weird for her. She's not usually emotional. We see another flashback with the exact same villain that killed her father. And she still healed him, even if she didn't want to. She is usually for the bread, but now she was emotional. Even Playtime was like, sorry, you had to do that, but she tried to play it off because they got the address. They had to move. This was their final stop. This was Stickman's lair. Each one of them had a reason for doing this, so this was low-key an ending to their suffering. Moving as quietly as they could, they stumbled into this factory, but no one was here except papers. Papers with Stickman drawn all over them, for this was a trap. Stickman knew they were coming. Matter of fact, he clarifies that one of them, called him in advance. There was a traitor in this party. Each and everyone looking at each other, wondering who the traitor was. But he didn't care. His number one goal was chaos, and he had gotten it. He makes it clear that all of you are going to die. But there is a way that all of you can also live. You see, I have a job for you. And this is a job you honestly cannot refuse. The next video is going to be the finale of the first volume, so if you love this story, please let me know in the comments. Drop a like, whatever you can to show support, so I know you guys like my videos. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.